Hey, Droppy, how come you're here?
What do you mean, uncle? Just like you. Wherever I can, I drop in. If I find a place, I stay. If there's a slope, I run down. And if there's a space, I seep in.
Very smart. You know almost everything.
Not really. I still have a doubt about where we come from. Who was your father, grandfather, and all that?
What's the big deal in that? That's simple. My dad was a drop too. My dad and his friends came from the clouds and fell onto the earth. While going through the waterways, some of them seeped into the farms. My dad didn't stop anywhere. He kept running and went and met a river. He went all the way to the sea. Going into the sea water, he merged into the sea. Then the sun worked its magic and turned the water into vapor, and he created some wonderful clouds. Drops formed here and there. I was one of them too. We couldn't handle the cold mountain air. We jumped off as soon as possible, and that's how we're here.
But uncle, this goes on and on. Water cycle or something they call it. Clouds, rain, river, ocean, and then again clouds, rain, river. But how did it start in the first place?
Oh, you want to know that? Okay, that is a long story, young man. Sun is the creator of all planets, including Earth. Earth was a ball of fire, just like the sun. 28,000 million years ago, Earth started to cool down, and it took another million years to form different layers. The Earth's magnetic forces came into action and pulled the gases from the space and formed the atmosphere. Similarly, water vapor in the atmosphere condensed to become water.
You mean we were born before the life came into existence on the earth, right?
Of course, air was around, sun in the sky, and we were here. That's how life was created on earth.
These humans think they are very smart, but they can't even make water. They have to manage with just whatever water they get. What type of a place have you chosen, uncle? Not even a single drop will seep in this rock.
Droppy, this is the Deccan Plateau, the land of hard rock. Can you see those amazing layers upon layers? Do you know how these layers were formed?
No, please tell me.
Once upon a time, America, Australia, India were one continent, and these continents slowly moved apart. India moved and came to stay at the south of China. The continents were drifting slowly as there were lots of disturbances in the Earth's core. Molten rock, ash, and gases were released. The fissures were active everywhere. The lava that erupted spread all over the land. Mountains, rivers, ditches, and lakes got burned underneath the layers of lava. At some places, it locked gases underneath, and at some places, cracks developed. Sun, rain, wind were also active. Different types of layers in soil were formed. Some were porous, while others were not. The volcanoes erupted intermittently and laid another layer of lava on the earth. This process repeated for many million years, and this is how the amazing Deccan Plateau was formed.
Oh God, it must be hard to find our roots in these layers.
Man still hasn't found the complete solution to the puzzle of groundwater in these layers. Under the massive rocks, there is fracturing and jointing, and we can run easily through these cracks. We run from places with high pressure to low pressure, and higher gradient to lower gradient as well. We can go much deeper if possible.
This is so simple for us. But this complete situation is so confusing to the humans because they can't see what happens beneath the surface. The human beings are just sitting on the top looking at their own fields. Look over there, uncle. That is Sopan's house, his farm and his well. He thinks because he owns the land, he owns the water beneath too. But the neighboring well is of Rambaul. Then there's Patil's and the village head's well too. All of them think the water in the wells is their own. But is it actually like that?
Wait. Let's take an X-ray photo of the ground. See the different owners and wells on the top? But they have the same groundwater storage. Under the surface, there's a layer of rock which stores the water together. This is called an aquifer. It is the groundwater reservoir that supplies water to these wells. All those wells and the aquifer are connected through channels like fractures or joints.
Oh no! Sopan is pumping lots of water from his well, and the level of water in Patil's well is reducing.
That's inevitable, Droppy. It's like lots of straws sucking from the same cold drink bottle. Now, Patil will deepen his well, and Rambau will follow him. And the village head. He will be leading them. He will dig a borewell, and more wells will follow.
Oh no! The groundwater is not increasing. They are just pumping water endlessly. Very soon, it's going to get dried up underneath.
Hey, Droppy! Come on! It's raining. It's time to go.
Let's go! Let's go! Whee! Uncle, where are we now?
This is our first subsurface station. Out of the 100 of us, 60 go off as runoff on the surface. 30 get evaporated, and hardly 10 seep in here. Those 10 reach this first station. This is the water you see in open wells.
It looks like going down further will be difficult.
Correct. Very little water reaches there. That reservoir takes decades to fill.
Oh God, men are pumping out even this water. How many monsoons will it take to fill these reserves? Every rainy season, all the shallow aquifers get filled up. But this deep aquifer will remain empty. Is there a solution for it, Uncle?
It's simple. Recharge like a mobile phone. When it rains, water is stored in dams, ponds and lakes, and it percolates into the soil. Humans and animals use it, and the dam fills again the next monsoon. This is nature's cycle. If you use judiciously, then you will have enough. But humans are greedy and extract a lot of water.
If they keep on going like this, the water will not be available anymore. How will they restore the water supply?
Look, rainwater can be collected and harvested from roofs. Wells and borewells can be recharged by this water. Even runoff water can be collected in a recharge pit and filtered before getting in wells. You only have to be sure that none of the pollutants get in. The water should be as clean as your drinking water.
A few trenches on mountains can also check the running water. We can also stay in ponds or farm trenches and seep into the ground.
Recharging alone is not enough, Droppy. Pumping must be reduced too.
When a needle can do the job, why need a sword? Don't flood the crops. Use drip irrigation or use sprinklers. irrigate in the late evening or in the early morning to reduce evaporation.
Correct. In lesser water, more land can be irrigated. They'll get bumper crops in less water.
Wow, Ustad, wow. Yay! Sopan is using drip irrigation. But what's that? Patil is still pumping out fast. This will waste all recharging.
You're right, Droppy. The village must unite to conserve groundwater. Do you know the village Hivre Bazar in Nagar district? They have their own rule. Water till 35 feet below ground is used for irrigation. Water below that level is strictly reserved for drinking. So drinking water is guaranteed. Nobody takes crops that need extra water. That's the mantra for sustainability.
So there is no need for a law to be made by the government. A village can make its own rules. That's community management.
Correct. If more wells are dug, water will be pumped out more. The best thing would be to share the water from existing wells. Make a water user group on every well and share its water. Simple. It can be a community well. Measure water in the wells at the end of the monsoon. Once the quantity of groundwater is known, divide it accordingly. Whether you own a well doesn't matter. You will always get your share of water. Then fix the pumping hours for every farmer.
No hijacking of water, no competition of digging wells deeper, no sabotage, no tension. If water is assured, harvest is also guaranteed. We are a blessing of the sun, wind, and the earth. Man may land on the moon, invent huge machines, but he can't create water. He can only have as much water as nature gives him.
Well, folks, you may be very smart, but the rains are not in your control. Whatever water you have, use it judiciously. Our cycle is unending, but you should maintain your cycle. Conserve this wealth for your children. Take care and remember, every drop counts. A drop saved is a drop created.